What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Writing the Game podcast with your gracious host, Keenan coming to you once again. I hope that you are having a great Tuesday, a great start to your week. On today's podcast, I want to talk to you guys about how to bounce back like a god. How do you bounce back from your failures, from your errors, from your mistakes, from your humiliation? How do you bounce back like a god? Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, let's go and get right ahead into it. When it comes to being a bounce back person, man, it's all about your perception of your reality. And it's all about your perception of your abilities. And it's all about your perception of you. Let's start right there with perception. All right. So when it comes to having perception, do you perceive your mistakes and your quote unquote failures as quote unquote failures? Do you see them as failures or do you see it as trial and error? See, it is what you call it. So if you are trying to accomplish certain business goals, if you're trying to acquire new leads, if you're trying to acquire new clientele, if you're trying to reach a certain income level, if you're trying to obtain happiness or joy, there's going to be some inevitable events that takes place in life because this is life here on earth, right? But at the same time, we create our reality. We are the God of our experience. We can tell our experience what we want it to be. But the thing is that it's all about how we coach ourselves through the process. A bounce back person is a person who coaches themselves. They get up and empower themselves. They get up and encourage themselves. They get up and they work on developing themselves. They get up and work on having. They say, you know what, I'm not going to see that mistake that I made or this failure. I'm not going to see that as a failure. It's trial and error. So what I'll do is I'll learn from that and apply the wisdom that I gained from that and the understanding that I gained from that and apply it to my next level. Apply it to what I'm about to do next in my life. Change your perception of life. Change your perception of you and your abilities, your strengths and your weaknesses. People who are not able to really bounce back from anything, it's all about how they perceive life. If they feel like they are a victim of their circumstances, then they will not really be able to bounce back. If they feel out of control of their circumstances, if they feel like life is happening to them and that they're not creating their life, then bouncing back, they're going to find that very challenging, right? See, I said bounce back like a god. If you're looking at the thumbnail says bounce back like a god. Bounce back like a god. That means you are the ruler of your destiny and your fate. How you think and what you choose to focus on in your life is what creates your life. So instead of focusing on that failure and dwelling on what happened in the past, let it go. Keep going. Gather the wisdom, gather the game, gather the understanding, apply that to the next step. You slipped on one step on the way up. That's all that was, all right? So by you having the mentality and the attitude of a god, you understand that. So when life happens, don't let it catch you by surprise. Now, we may not like the things that happen, and that's cool. We're human at the same time, right? But have a God-like mentality. Go into every situation, not trying to control the situation, but you can think to yourself, I don't really like the outcome that I got. So let me create something else. I don't like my life. Let me create a new life. See, people who feel out of control, they're constantly dwelling in the past. And they're constantly dwelling in the future as well. See, the key is to live in a moment. right? To be able to maintain a godlike mentality, you have to deal with the moment. You got to deal with what's going on right now. What's the situation at hand? So ask yourself this question. That slip up that I had, that mishap, that misstep, was that a failure? Only you can determine that. Only you can call it that. I can't tell you, hey, that was a failure. No, only you can say that. Is it a failure to you? Like I said, you're the God of your experience. You're the creator of your life, of your reality. And you create your life and your reality through your attitude. Attitude towards yourself, attitude towards the world. If you feel like you are a loving and joyful person and you like feeling that way, you love feeling that way, then you're going to do whatever it takes to maintain that vibration, to maintain that energy, right? Because you love the way that you feel. Be a bounce back person. Don't let the mistakes that we make in our creating process deter us from creating something better and new, right? But it's all about how you feel too about yourself. Now, if you feel that you are a negative, I'm sorry, if you feel that you are an incompetent person who cannot really accomplish any sort of success, then your life is going to reflect that without you even realizing it in different ways. Bounce back like a god, no matter what come your way. Ain't nothing too hard for you. Ain't nothing too hard for you to do. There is nothing too hard for you to do. That is the attitude that you have to take. And just because you slip up, that don't mean that you got to give up. Understand that the time is still going to pass anyway, so you might as well do what you love. Do it in a loving energy for yourself and for your craft. Whatever you are endeavoring to do, do it with love. Do it with respect. Don't put any requirements and limits on yourself. Thank you guys for tuning in to Writing the Game podcast. This is your gracious host, Keenan. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.